Mister.
Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a quick guide for round 3 of the Nations Cup, and since this is an N300 race, I'll be using the new Toyota GR Supra RZ. And I want to quickly put this out there, since these races along with the manufacturer series happen so close to each other, these guides will be a lot quicker compared to that of the daily race guides. But anyways, let's get this started. Look for the 100 meter board as you'll start to brake right when you pass it. Also, take advantage of the curbs here as the limits are very lax. So as you see here, you'll see me take advantage of the curb, then get on the throttle, and then you want to brake hard for a tiny moment of time, ease off on the braking, and then you can briefly shift down to second gear, then back to third. This will get the car to rotate just a bit more so you can get on the throttle a lot sooner. Then for this next turn, you want to ease off on the throttle, get the car on the left side and start to brake before you pass the black billboards on the left. Be very gentle here, take advantage of the curb, and gently start to accelerate. It's a good idea to stay on fourth gear for that turn, then hang out on the left side, and you're going to look for the start of the white runoff area that's on the left here, and you'll be using that as your braking point. Brake hard for a bit, then ease off on the braking, go along the track, and then bring yourself to the apex. The apex is a little bit late, and when you hit it, you can then start to fully accelerate. Then once you're halfway into the curb that is on the right, you can start to brake, and you can briefly go into fourth gear if needed, but you can do this in fifth gear. Slowly start to accelerate, follow along the curbs as these will help you get the car to rotate a bit more, but be careful on using too much of your turning ability as that could potentially cause this car to slide. Then really rev up the car and then look for the sign on the left that is right before the 100 meter mark, as that will be your braking point. Then brake in a straight line, slowly start to ease off the braking, hit the apex, and then start to fully accelerate as soon as you can. And there you go, that's your quick lap guide. Let's go ahead and talk about the strategies once this lap is completed, and here we go. For the strategy of this race, you don't even need to go to the pit stop at all. You have more than enough fuel to last you all 17 laps, and the tires should last you the entire race. For the fuel, you can short shift a little bit to conserve a tiny bit more fuel, as you'll be coming down a little bit close to running out towards the very end of the race. For the tires, this track is going to demand a lot of consistency, so you want to try to get very consistent lap times to get a good idea of where your tires are standing. If you do that, you should be in a better place compared to someone who is having times that are all over the place. For the first 10 laps, your car should be feeling pretty good. It's just that once you reach lap 11 or even as late as lap 12, you'll start to notice that your tires are starting to get a little bit worn out, and it's going to gradually get worse and worse as you go throughout the race. I know I mentioned at the start of the lap guide that you can briefly shift down to second gear, then back to third when you're coming across the first hairpin, but when your tires are starting to get worn, you want to stop doing that to make sure that you conserve a bit more of that tire life. For the rest of the track, you can do everything else as the lap guide mentions. It's just that this hairpin right here, you want to stay away from going to second and third when the tires are getting worn. Just want to hammer that point down. And on the last few laps, it's going to get really easy to have the car slide around, so you want to be a lot more careful when you're braking and accelerating to conserve that little bit of tire life and try to get an advantage over others who could potentially have their tires more worn than yours. But anyways, that is all for this guide. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. Non-commentary versions are coming up, but this is me signing off. So this is Mr. MCA, hoping you have a good race, and I'll see you in the next video.